Hello. Hey guys, can you hear me? Okay. Good. Hey guys, I think today you can join the Zoom meeting as well because I want you guys to give me some feedback and ask some questions today. And we don't have a lot of coding today, but we just talk about what is a variable in Python. And yeah, if you have any question, you can use the Zoom to call me and we will discuss on Zoom. All right. So, and I will wait for 1 minute and we will start. Okay. Something. And give me 1 second. I'm going to fix my things. Okay, that's perfect. How about just 18? Okay, if you guys are ready, please leave me a comment on the chat box and we will start. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so today we are going to talk about variable. So probably you guys already use variable in the in your math, like in algebra, and you use something called x, y, z. And of course, in our Python class, you already use a variable. So for example, you define a name called a, and a equal to 6, and actually, basically, you assign a value 6 to the variable called a. Okay, the first thing is like every lesson, I'm going to W3 schools. So I just type W3 schools, and it's w3schools.com, and I go tutorials and learn Python, and we are just at here. Python variables. So I click on the variables, and then we are going to learn Python variable today. And you will see the definition is here. It's called the variable are containers for storing data values. And that's simple and easier. And the second line is saying, basically it's saying Python have no command for declaring a variable. So you probably don't know what is declaring, but never mind at the moment, and we just know that once we type x equal to 5, which means we assign number 5 to a variable called x. And before we start, we're going to play a small game, and I prepare my PowerPoint here, and there are 3 envelopes in here, and I'm going to have 3 letters. So it's like, for example, 1 letter, 2 letters, oopsie, and the second letter, maybe make it smaller, and the third letter. So in each letter, I put a value. Let's say in here, I put a value called 99. And here, there's a value called tomorrow. And here, we are going to have a value called 3.14, okay? And these are all letters in our real life. Imagine like that. And we have 3 envelopes. So I'm going to write something. Like, for example, I'm going to mail it to, like, how about mail it to George, okay? And then this letter, I'm going to mail it to how about Lily? Okay, so, and this letter we are going to mail it to like Tommy. So now we have 3 letters, right? And think about the letter we are mailing to, like George is a variable, Lily is a variable, and Tommy is a variable name. And these are the value we are going to put into the envelope. So I'm going to put them into the envelope. I'll let you know. So first, I'm going to put it to so I'm going to put it like, for example, I'm going to put this value into here, into this envelope. And how about this one to here? And now this variable, put it into here. So now our game is like that. What I want is I click on the envelope and you are going to tell me what's the value inside. Okay? So let's just say I want to know what's the value in George in here. If you know the value, please just type it in the chat box and let me know you know what is in this envelope, in George envelope. Okay, so someone tell me, so George is 3.14, they said. George envelope is 3.14. So how about Lily's envelope? Lily's. And the same is what is in the Tommy's envelope. Well, I think you might forgot, right? Like what I did. So I may just Control Z and go back here. So I put 99 here and 3.14 into George envelope like this. I put it here. And I should put 99 here. I don't remember, but tomorrow is here. So that is what we put it into the envelope. So basically in Python, we name it name this variable called George, and we have another one called Lily, and then we have this one envelope called Tommy, and we put the letter inside to the variable, and this letter, they have some value here, like this one is 3.14. In Python it's called float. Basically it's a decimal we learned in math, and we have 99, and then we have a string called tomorrow. If tomorrow, you got to have the single quote, or either single quote or double quote to wrap them. Okay, so let's just define a variable in our REPL. Let's just define a variable in the REPL. This practice sign. So I'm going to open it. In case you are not there, I just copy the link and put it into the chat box. And so you can define like 3 variables, like for example, call the first variable is your name. My name is George. Like you mail a letter to the George, right? To envelope George, and equal to 3.14, and you have another variable called Lily, so we just use Lily equal to 99, and we have another variable called Tommy equal to a string that is in tomorrow. All right, so I want you to finish this code. It's easier, but we are going to develop and we in this code. So I want you to finish it as soon as possible. Once you finish, leave me a comment in the chat box and we can move forward.
Ready? Go! Hurry up!
Hey Michael, if you need help, could you type it down here and so I can answer your question. Otherwise, we will work on it together after this lesson. Okay? All right. So I think most of you guys have
Mission
been completed, and now we are going to continue, and we're going to continue. So the first thing is I want to know what kind of things will inside the envelope. So you may think, like for example, you go to your mailbox, you just get a mail. So like this, you don't know what is inside. So can you detect what type of value in here? In Python, there's a function. So it's a function called type. So there's a function called type. Okay. For example, I will give a function. I will put the variable inside this type, and we will know what kind of value, what type of value inside this envelope. So let's just type George. Okay. And of course, you want to output it. So for example, when I run it, it doesn't show me anything, but that's why we want to output it, like print and George. So you tell me it's a type of float. It's a float data type inside the George variable. Okay, and the same thing, what I want you to do is you tell me what kind of type what kind of value type in the variable Lily and Tommy. So if you got the answer, please put it in the chat box so we can know what kind of value in Lily and Tommy. Okay, and let me know if you got the answer.
Hurry up!
Okay, that's cool. And I guess I'm going to do it by myself, but this time I will try in the Breadbox instead of in the white box, because in here we create a file called main.py, and I haven't tell you yet, but you still can use the Breadbox in this side. So I'm going to try it like George equal to 3.14 and Lily equal to 99 and Tommy equal to tomorrow. Okay, so type of George obviously is float, and type of Lily is int, which is integer, and type of Tommy is string. But like what I did here, I always use print this function to output it into this console. So you can use print type of Tommy. Okay, and you can do the same thing, output the same thing, but if you type it on the Breadbox, and you can get the value directly. But in here, we call it in the script. We have to run it, and then it will output into the Breadbox, which is a console. We call a console. Okay, so now we know is the type of each value. Like 3.14 is a type of float. 99 is a number, is integer because there's no dot here. And then we got a string, it's called tomorrow, and it show you str, which means is string. Okay, and that's the variable we are thinking, like it's a variable, we put something inside the variable. But sometimes you may think, hey, I have a big envelope. For example, I create a big envelope, like really big, a little bit bigger than this one. If I put Lily inside here with the, of course, like we come together. If I put the Lily into this envelope, so what will happen on this envelope? Like for example, this envelope is mailing to Big Boss. Big Boss. Big Boss, okay? Into the Big Boss. So I will put this small envelope inside to the big envelope. So you may think, what will happen? And I will go back here, and I define a new envelope called Big Boss. Okay, and now I put the envelope called Lily in here. I put Lily, this envelope, with, of course, with the value 99 into the Big Boss. Okay, the Big Boss. And now I want to see what's inside the Big Boss right now. And let's just do it. And I remove this part, and I just want the output Big Boss, and I'm going to run it. And before I run it, I want you guys to give me a guess and what will output for the Big Boss. And if you know it, please leave a comment on the chat box. Like, I put Lily this envelope into another envelope called Big Boss. Okay, like this one. I just put this one, the lily one, into here, inside this big envelope. So what would be in this big box? If before we run it, and if you know the answer, please leave it on the chat box and let me know your answer. Okay, but this type is not a type. Okay, you just print big box and you guess what will be the output. Okay, so yeah, that's cool. Okay, yeah, I'm going to run this script and you will see what's the output for the big box. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just click run and it give me 99. So it will show you, oh yeah, this value is, this letter is 99, and the value in this envelope, basically the big box also have the value 99. Okay, and what kind of type of big box? Because the value is 99, and we would also do the experiment. We just print type and another parenthesis and put big box. Okay, that's the letter mailing to the big box. Okay, so I'm gonna run it, and this time you will see the answer. So obviously the first one is the value is 99, and the second one is give you the integer. It's the type exactly like Lily. Yeah, that's why what I want you to do, because we want to understand, oh, how about we assign a variable to another variable and what will happen? And basically this big box will carry the same value of this Lily. Okay, and even Lily put it here is a big box, and then you have 99 and then you put it into the Lily. Okay, now I want to change a little bit. How about this? Big box, and this time equal to Tommy. And what's the output of this one again? If you know the answer, of course you can try it, do your own experiment, and you run it, and you tell me what's the answer, what's the possible answer will be. And leave me a comment if you got the answer. Okay. Yep, maybe some of you guys missed, and I just saying I add one more thing. I just add first I assign a Lily to the big box, and then I assign a Tommy to the big box. And now what will be the value inside the big box? And what's the type of the big box? Okay, and if you finish this code and you do a run and tell me what's the output from the right hand side in the big breadbox, and let me know the value. Okay.
Hurry up! Congratulations!
Okay, I think most of you guys got the answer, because when the second time we put Tommy into the big box envelope, it will change to Tommy's value. Like if you put Lily first and then you put Tommy inside, it will replace what's inside the big box. But Lily will keep the same value, like equal to 99. And Tommy, of course, the same to the tomorrow. And now you have the big box, and the big box, if you put Tommy into the big box, it will have the same value called tomorrow. All right, so that sounds easier. And then we will go forward for that. And let's see my next slide. And I have a lot of questions, but we will go through these questions, and hopefully I can explain well for you. If you don't know yet, and really doesn't matter, because we will continue to talk about that. And of course, after this lesson, you can, if you still confused, and please call me at Zoom. Okay, so the first one is like, what is a variable? We already know that, because the variable just a name, and you can store some data values, and that's easy. And the second one is saying what kind of value can be put into the variable. Well, that could be challenged, because we already use like this. We put a number like integer. Okay, and you got okay, you have integer, and you probably had string or float. Let's say float. They are all numbers, so have float, and you can put the value called string, which the one with wrap it by the single quote, either single quote or double quote. And you can have what we just learned is called list. A list? What? A list can put it into a variable? The answer is yes. And something weird here is saying you can put an object into a variable object. What is object? And we don't know yet. We haven't learned yet, but let's just keep in mind. In Python, everything is object. So that's why you have the integer is an object, float is object, string is object, list is object. So everything is object. And but we are here. We will talk about a class, and they have the instance, and is also an object. So, but we don't know yet. So that's why we stride through. And how am I going to stride through? We haven't talked about that yet. So front, stride through. Okay. Oopsie. And then again. We also learned function. We can put a function into a variable, okay? And we can put a lot of things into a variable. But let's try out something. We can put a function into a variable, okay? Let's just do it like this. We go back to here, and we are going to remove all of them. And what I want you to do is like, okay, I define a variable called any name. For example, my out, okay, just my out equal to print. I'll just try this, and then my out, and put it called tomorrow, and I'm gonna run it and see what happens. If you output tomorrow, it's just exactly doing what the print do, because print is a function. We can make it output, and I just change its name and use my own variable to pointing to the print, and use this variable stands for the print. But be aware of that, we are not going to use a parenthesis. We just assign its name to a variable called my out. So we use my out, we changed its name, and we still can use this function, and we can output tomorrow, okay? And how about I give you 2 minutes? You are going to name a very cool name, and you are going to override the function name print, and you do exactly the print do, and you are going to output some cool sentence, and then you click run, and hopefully it will work and output something on the breadbox. All right, I give you 2 minutes and you work on that. Once you're done, leave me a comment and we can continue.
Ready? Go! Mission completed.
Yep, I think you guys have been done. And let's move forward. And this question is saying variable, and you may ask why it's called variable. It must have something static and never change, because variable means you can change the value in the name, the variable. Like for example, you have a equal to, like for example you have, I'm going to show you, like for example you have a equal to 5, right? And somehow later you think, I'm going to change to 6. Yeah, that's valid because it is a variable, and the variable means the value inside store in the a, it can be changed. You have 5 and then you change to 6, or you have a equal to 7. You can change it later, so we call variable. In some other language, like for example C++ or Java, and they might have another concept called constant, which means if you define a variable, they never change. Like for example, you have a pi is equal to 3.1415. I can't remember the rest of them, but they just never change, and that is called a constant. But in Python, we rarely use this kind of constant, because in Python everything is an object. That's why we just keep changing things. So we just have variable and no constant. I mean no real constant. So that's why I am going to stride through. And in Python we just have variable. That's why, because the value inside a variable can be changed. And you probably also heard about something like this. You're saying, oh, a variable is binding to an object. And you also will hear about that. It will call by value and call by reference. And just remember reference, this word. We'll not learn it yet, but you will hear about this word a lot in all the computer language. So you just remember it's a reference. Okay? And I'm going to just highlight it. And you remember it, it's called reference. But we're not going to talk about it. But you should remember there's something called reference. We'll talk about that until we learn class. Okay? And now we have a question here. For example, I have an apple juice here, like in this glass. We have an apple juice. Okay, this one is an orange juice. And I want to swap these two glasses. I want to just have all the apple juice in these glasses, and the orange juice into here. So what should I do? How could I swap them? And if you know, you have any idea, please leave me a comment in the chat box. And I really want to know how to do that. Okay, so yeah, like most of you guys already have a good idea. So the option one is if I want to put the apple juice here and the orange juice over here, obviously you can do just buy a new cup. You put a new cup here. You're gonna pour the apple juice into this cup, and now you have emptied this glass. So let's just pour the orange juice in here, and now you have your apple juice here, and you pour it back to the orange juice, the original orange juice cup. Okay, so let's just do it in Python, and we just name this one is glass 1 and this one is glass 2, and I want to swap the value in glass 1 and glass 2 and see how it works out in Python. Okay, so the first thing is, like, for example, I have glass 1. Okay, so glass 1 is apple juice. How to spell juice? And the second one is glass 2 is orange juice. Now you have glass 1 and glass 2. I want glass 1 has whatever value in glass 2, and glass 2 has the apple juice. And of course, I want you to output it later and to verify what is in the glass 1 and what is in glass 2. So I want you to do that put your code between the line 3 to 5 and see if you can swap the glass 1 and glass 2, the apple juice and orange juice, and finally you will find glass 1 output. The first one should be orange juice, the second one should be apple juice, and I will give you like 5 minutes, probably 2 minutes, and we are going to finish this code. Okay, if you're done, please let me know. Yeah, what I want the output from in the breadbox, it should be, the first one should be orange juice, the second one should be apple juice. Okay, but you need to swap them. And how are we going to swap these two, the apple juice and the orange juice? So you will do your coding and let me know if you're done. and you get the correct value. Okay, and I would just
Hurry up. Mission completed.
All right, I'm gonna finish my code, and I think after I finish, that's it for today. And we still have something left here because I want you guys, we already tried the type, and you should try, if you have time, you can try len and ID on the variable, okay? And you can explore these two because we already tried the type. And we also have some common question like when should we use the parenthesis, and when should we use the this bracket, or you can call square bracket or this curly brace. And we are going to talk about that in next lesson, but let me just finish this code, and that's it for today. Okay, so it's easy. So what you can do is just, we have a new classes, let's just say free, and now you have you put the class 1 here, okay, and now class 1 is empty. Basically it's not empty, but you can replace with class 2, okay. And now class 2 will have class 3, okay, and which is should be just the apple juice on class 2. So I'm gonna run it, and hopefully you do the same thing like the one I did, and we just swap them, okay. And that's it for today. If you have any question, you can call me at Zoom. I'm gonna start Zoom, and we will just have 5 more minutes, and that's it for everybody. are you?
I just found a way to get into like the YouTube thing.
Oh, can you get into the YouTubing?
Yep, I just found a trick.
Okay.
Use Firefox. That's easier.
All right. Yeah. So you're good at Firefox?
Well, usually I'm good at Google Chrome instead.
Uh-huh. Does Google Chrome give you some trouble?
Yep.
Okay. That sounds good.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, I'm going to unmute myself in the
I just got a
YouTube.